Hi, I'm Joshua Herman, and I'm presenting accelerating QMCPy notebook tests with Parsl. I'm a QMC development team member, and this is joint work with Dr. Sou-Cheng Choi at Illinois Tech and also Sou-Lab. Hi, I have 15 years of experience as a software engineer. I'm also an open source contributor to Python and obviously QMCPy. I've given conference talks at DEF CON, the largest hacking conference in the world, Sky Talks, which is a smaller one, and PyOhio, which is a Python Ohio group. I'm also a member of Chippy. I also do recreational applied mathematics, mainly quasi-Monte Carlo Pi, which I'm obviously contributing, and I've discovered an interesting cellular automata. The main focus of this talk was not basically, I've done a lot of work in making our notebooks reproducible, but we also want it to be fast and the resource intensive, especially when you have contributors that have only 16 gigabytes of RAM. So how are we using Parsl to speed up testbook execution? Basically, we have a testbook file, which I'll go into and how that works, that corresponds to all of our Jupyter notebooks. We also then created a runner using Parsl, which is our test harness. And then we created a few simple tests to evaluate Parsl. So basically, if the notebooks would execute without a syntax error. Going over, if you haven't seen a Jupyter notebook, and also to give you a foundation on understanding testbook, we want to, obviously, this is a simple notebook cell. As you can see, the number 1, it's doing just 2 imports. And this is an actual example from our demos folder, if you look on our GitHub, which I'll show. Now, this is a lot of code, but it really isn't that much complicated. Basically, other than the imports, we have a initialization of PyTest in the scope of module, and then we import testbook, and then testbook, we pass it the notebook that it needs to test. And then, well, Jupyter is not really interpreter, but actually it's more like a kernel and other things. It's more like Mathematica also, which is one of the inspirations. And all we're doing right now is testing that the notebook imported QMCPy and NumPy after the test that we have executes the first cell, as you saw before. So with our test stubs, which are basically just doing the checking of a syntax error, we have a speed up of 216%, but this is still in progress, but it was very promising. I tried to use a different parallelizer for a different set of tests, and we actually saw that it actually increased the amount of time to test because of the test runner taking more time to actually do the tests. So this is very promising for us. Our future work is we want to implement the rest of testbook for all of our notebooks and to use the Parsl system to test all of our notebooks, and also then to integrate Parsl with more of our tests, such as a unit test that we have for QMC software, and then use Parsl to run tests of QMCPy remotely, which most likely would also give us the side effect of to be able to call our computations remotely. So there's my email address. We have our blog at https://qmcpy.org, and we have a GitHub too that you can find at the blog, and we can also, and for testbook, we have the URL there. The blog is a better way of understanding what exactly QMC software does. It's quasi Monte Carlo simulations.